Hi everybody, how are you doing? Well, welcome to Castle of the Immortal Dragon Emperor Episode 2. With me, as always, at least so far, is Agent Number 1. How you doing? He's playing
everybody.
He's playing Arkwright. We have 13th is a Twitter.
Hello.
Playing Ari. And lucky last, we have Hey Kitten playing Nine Lives.
Hello.
So, let's talk a little bit about last session. Interesting choices made by all. Interesting pathways taken and roads not travelled. But why don't we do a very quick recap of what happened with last session? Let's start with who do you want to pick on? Let's pick on Agent, since we had some technical issues to begin with. So Agent, would you please recap the last episode for us?
Sure. We all started off in a noodle bar where we met some strange Ronin cultist figures and a big fat guy named Low Fun. We then proceeded out of the noodle bar to the big announcement of the Dragon Emperor and joined a riot as we tried to stampede our way through a set of golden gates leading to a weird mystical land.
Fantastic. Pretty succinct.
I'll let someone else carry on for the rest.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Let's pick on Kitten.
Oh no, why me?
Because the next part's kind of relevant to you, I feel.
The next part is kind of my fault, I guess. Yeah, so no, we're just making our way down this path, and then we do see a giant bird statue, right? Was that it? We saw that first?
Yes, you saw
then
a raven statue in the road.
A raven statue, yeah. And then we just continued down the path and then saw a bunch of shrine type things. And there was a bunch of gold in front of one, and Nine, being the little thief that she is, wanted to take that gold, jewels, whatever it was, and Arkwright kind of suffered for that a little bit.
Yeah.
See my beaten face.
Yeah. The Kenku clan did not take kindly to you taking away their offerings from the shrine. So that was fun. One thing we
super got attacked.
Yeah, we'll go to 13th to just round off the episode just in a moment, but I do want to also remind you met a tiefling officiary once you went through the gates, a person called Coordinator Kiyoshi. And you chose the east path as opposed to others. So after that, actually, we should also clarify. During that, when you made the decision to go on the eastern path, Low Fun took the west path. A team of turtles that you saw dressed in colourful garb took the northern path, and you took the eastern path. And as did the Ronin, the mysterious Ronin that Nine Lives tried to unsuccessfully pickpocket.
Who saved our butt.
Yeah. Kind of. He seemed very, about the whole thing, possibly. But why don't you round us off with what happened next, 13th?
Alright, so at the Noda Bar, I had met up with Ronin, who had been actually made Ronin because he had been a part of my temple that I had been in, that had been destroyed. So as we were fighting, noticed that he was actually killing off some of the bird-like creatures that we were fighting, and helped us get away.
Exactly. And at the conclusion of that fight, you all decided to continue on with your journey, followed the path onwards, where it started going into a depression into the ground. And as most things are, when you're depressed, you go downwards. You went into sorry, that was a terrible joke. You went into a cave system that had openings into the sky, and basically it ended in a terminus where there was a series of hot springs set up with what appeared to be like a waterfall that was coming off of a river that was channeling into the place, and had like big mandarin trees and plum trees arrayed around this central pool with all these stones jutting from very, very hot water. And that is when you notice that there was a gigantic scaled figure wrapped around these stones beneath the water, and a large head 10 feet tall in the guise of one of the Chinese dragons you may see at, say, a Chinese New Year parade, breached the water and then basically regarded you all, rolled onto its back and said, "Hello, little people." And that's where we're currently at. I'll just like to say a quick word to the audience. If you would cast your glance to the left of my screen, you'll notice that there are advantage charges here. If you'd like to tip the team and give them the opportunity to take advantage on when they would like to do so, when it is advantageous for them to do so, feel free to tip the stream 100 bits. Maximum of 5 charges for advantages. And if you look to my right, there are disadvantages, and I'll show you what they look like very, very quickly. So a disadvantage charge looks like this. I'm not going to give myself one, but you can give that to me to utilize when it's not necessarily called for, but when I might want to use it. So that's the state of play. That's the mechanics we have. Let's get into episode 2 of Castle of the Immortal Dragon Emperor. So yes, you find yourself in front of this gigantic head that is very playfully just laying there looking at you all. And after this pronouncement, this voice that has sort of... It's loud, but it's not necessarily the sort of thing that would shake your bones. He just sits there and regards you all. What do you do? Don't all talk at once?
Have we ever... I mean, is this this kind of dragon, have we ever seen anything like this before?
Yeah, on scrolls. Definitely seen
But
dragon
never in real life.
Oh no, this is a big fantastical beast you've never seen.
So I think Arkrai's eyes just kind of like go wide, and he's just like kind of sits back in awe for a second.
Fantastic.
Are you a dragon?
I am not just a dragon. I am the dragon. I am Young Sun, High Advisor to the Immortal Dragon Emperor. It is a pleasure to meet someone who knows how to flatter one.
Oh, hi, Young Sun. I'm Arkrai. These are my friends.
Hello. He just very, very pompously sort of like... It's almost a very languishing, like, half-hearted, like, wave of flick of, like, a small taloned hand comes out of the water. And then recedes back in and goes, "So, why are you disturbing my bath time?"
We're just passing through. We're just trying to get to the castle temple thing.
But why would you go there?
We were
We
invited.
were summoned.
Oh, that's today. And he looks kind of like worried for a second. And then it just sort of, the worry sort of just escapes and he goes, "Oh, this bath is too luxurious to worry about such things at this point."
Do you know what this thing is?
Hmm?
This big event today. They didn't really tell us much. They just kind of gave us a bird and then pushed us through a gate.
Gave you the bird. That's hilarious.
The little mechanical birds.
Yeah. He goes, "I do not feel that it is appropriate for me to speak about the Emperor's thoughts, given that they are often a mystery to even one as wise and old as I am." Roll me an insight
He's
check.
pretty old.
Roll me an insight check.
Who, all of us?
Yeah, if you'd like.
I got a 22.
Oh yeah, okay.
14.
19.
Okay, for you, Ari, this guy seems like he knows what he's talking about. It's a very officious sort of way of speaking. Nine Lives and Arkrai, you know this is bullshit. He doesn't actually know what's going on. He doesn't know why this is happening. In fact, you get the distinct impression that this guy probably spends most of his time just sort of sitting there fanning himself in like a, you know what I mean? Like he's more about the luxury and power of the position than actually doing anything. If that makes sense.
Kind of
Yeah,
harmless.
yeah, he's officious for the sake of being officious, if that makes sense. And he sort of like has this deep rumbling, like it's almost like a cat purr laugh, kind of just comes from his from like behind his head, down his neck, and then he goes, "Would you pass me one of the lettuces?"
I'm sorry, the what?
The lettuces. Now, if you recall, there were these like Ferrero Rocher like setups around the bath that were sort of made as off. What you now would think were made as offerings. But yeah.
Yeah, there's there one within reach.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. You could wander over and get them. He could probably easily reach it, but he's asking you to do it. Like, it's literally within his arm's length. He's just too lazy to do it.
I go and grab one and bring it to him.
Yeah. He just...
While that's happening...
Yeah?
Sorry, while that's happening, do I see anything, like, around us? Like, is there anything, like, specifically around us, like temples or anything like that? I don't know, like, just anything in general?
Roll me a perception check, actually. Let me know if you get above 15.
Yes, I definitely did. My perception is 14.
Okay, then you notice that around this pool is a series of like carved seating arrangements, I suppose is the way you'd put it. They're very ornate, but that's not really the thing that's interesting. You notice that up in the trees there are a series of very small monkeys hiding from you all, and they all seem to be dressed in like, you know, the monkey valet kind of costume where they have like the vest. They're like that, but with like more official looking like robes. Yeah, they're probably about maybe a foot tall. Like if they stood, they're very similar to like the sort of ones you'd see in like an Apu kind of monkey, I guess is the best way to describe it. Rhesus, I think. No, not Rhesus. I can't remember the exact. No, look, I'm not a primatologist. Let's be honest, but of that type. But yeah, they're just like waiting in the trees. It would seem.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's what you see. These lettuces, by the way, are massive. They're like, you know, you get a big head of lettuce, and then just add like an additional bit to that. These things are big, but they look like Maltesers in comparison to the size of this guy.
Okay. So I want to ask him, are those your monkeys up in the trees?
He sort of like a big eye rolls and looks at it and goes, "Yes, those are my monkeys."
Okay, are they like bodyguards?
Oh, they're entertainers. They could sing for you if you'd like, or play a tune.
Yeah, Arkwright just starts like clapping, like yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Nine Lives just rolls her eyes and just looks away.
Yeah.
Ari says we really must need to get going.
Oh, if you need to leave, that's fine.
We're in a rush.
Yeah. I'm more than happy to go back to luxuriating.
Okay. I want to ask. Do you have any way like that's like simpler for us to get to the temple? Or do you have possibly any advice for us?
He thinks for a moment and then he goes, "Well, the quickest way would be to follow the path. But as for advice, what's in it for me?"
And can I roll a survival check? Because I want to see if there's, because we're in a cave system, can we see the ground? And what is the dirt made? What is the ground made of? Is it rock or is it dirt?
Oh,
I wanted to check for footprints and stuff like that.
sure. So straight up, there are no other footprints you see here, but the path that you followed led into a cave that went through this sort of winding arrangement, and then you came out into effectively caldera. So you're actually in open air, about 100 feet down. So there's like not super sheer sides to this, but fairly like it would be hard to get out of here if you were to, say, for example, climb. But you notice that the path continues on, and then this big idiot's body is actually blocking the way forward. It would seem, because you basically went like, oh, okay, cool. There's a bath spring here, and then you follow your eyes across to this where the path would go, and then you saw his scaly body like basically blocking that off.
In response to his question, like, what's in it for me?
Yeah.
I think Arcry is just kind of like sitting on the edge of this path with his like feet in the water at this point, and just picks up another one of these like heads of lettuce and says like, "What about another one of these?"
They already belong to me.
Oh.
Also, I need you to do a Constitution save.
No.
Oh God.
To all of us?
No, just the Arcry.
14.
Oh.
Okay. That's gonna make it. This is very hot water. Like,
Oh, yeah?
it's like getting painfully hot.
Oh.
Can I
Yeah,
ask?
you kind of hear me going like, "Ow, ow,"
Yeah.
and just like still trying to put my feet back in. To be like,
Yeah.
"Ow, ow,
Yeah.
ow."
Can I ask the dragon if we're the first ones that he has seen come through here?
Yes. You're the only people I've seen for about a week. Though time is hard to tell here. And he sort of stretches, and one of those little, like, in comparison to his body, the diminutive arms comes up and just, like, reaches. It's diminutive in comparison to him. It's still massive. Like, it's easily, like, 30-foot long arm just reaches up into the tree, and you see these claws just, like, pop into these mandarins and plums that are growing, and he brings it down and just goes, like, Very happy rumble sort of just echoes through the cave.
Well, if he doesn't want to give us any advice, I kind of turn to the group. If he doesn't want to give us any advice going out of here, I don't know what to trade him. I don't know what a big dragon wants.
Well, it's so good of you to ask. And he sort of
realize like he's still right next to me. Like.
Yeah. He extends his hand again, and you see this finger point up into the trees because the boughs are actually still quite high up. He's basically, for lack of a better term, picking the low-hanging fruit. He points up and he goes, "Do you see that mandarin up there?" And there's a big, juicy, almost golden sheened mandarin hanging from the highest branch of one of these trees. "I've wanted to eat that for about 3 days. You get that for me? I'm more than happy to answer any questions you might have."
Okay.
Well, that sounds easy enough.
Don't you have monkeys that can do this for you?
They're
Good point.
not welcome up there.
What is up there? Besides the fruit.
Ah, very good of you to ask. Let's just say, fruit like this doesn't grow by itself. There are spirits that tend to these. They are in service to me and will not mind if I pluck the fruit from the tree, but if one of you were to do so, well, there's no telling what they may do.
How big is this tree? Is it?
So it breaches the caldera. So about 110, 120 foot tall.
And so like pretty wide around. As
Yeah. Well, this place is quite wide. To give you an estimation, somewhere between 300 and 400 feet wide.
Okay.
So the thing to note is, Yang Sung could easily, 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% easily, with his size, like lean forward, like lean up, probably reach out and grab it. He's just too bloody lazy to do so. Like, absolutely.
And he's just going to give us some advice if we get this for him?
That's what he says. He's happy to answer any questions you might have.
So if you could say pick me up and put me up there, would I be attacked?
I don't know if you would be attacked, but I'm also not going to do that. I'm far, far too far into my bath to get out and risk the chill of the wind.
Then you must not want the fruit as bad as you're letting us believe.
He, you know those sort of like dog whines where they're like, oh, when it comes to like not getting the thing that they want. That's kind of the sound he makes. He goes, I'm
I feel
torn.
bad for him.
I'm honestly torn. I want that fruit very badly, but I also want my very warm, very comfortable bath as much. I'm undecided on the matter. Won't you help a very influential dragon out?
I mean, it couldn't take us that long to do. I'm a pretty quick climber.
Yeah, 9 does not care. At this point, she says, "This is a waste of our time. We just need to go."
Okay. 9, the monkeys that you were looking at before have sort of... They've climbed down from the tree. And are now, like... You notice that they're carrying, like, a couple of different instruments. Like, they have a peasy, guzheng, that sort of stuff. Like, if people know what those are, they're like the Chinese, like, string instruments. And they've started setting up to play music. One of them is what's your passive perception again? Like 17 or something, I believe. Actually, it would be higher than that.
14. My passive. Hold on. Passive perception is 24.
24? Okay, yeah. One of these monkeys is trying to pickpocket you. Yeah.
Okay.
It's come up to you and it's done like the tugging at the on like your pants, like the hey pay attention to me, and its friend is currently like trying to like pick your pocket.
Okay. The one that's trying to pick my pocket, I turn around and I grab it by the throat and I hold it up.
It squeaks.
All right, and then I look back at the dragon and I say, "This belongs to you. If it touches me or my friends one more time, it's going in your boiling water."
He just looks shocked and scandalized. He goes, "Such a dishonorable display." And he reaches out with his hand and gestures to the monkey, like to you, and the monkey goes, "May I?"
Yeah, I just hand it over.
He takes the monkey. The monkey is like looking at you, like, "No." And he just throws it up into the sky. It's like he fastballs it. And you just hear this thing screech as it disappears.
Oh, that's awful.
Let this be a lesson to the rest of you. Dishonorable conduct results in a dishonorable discharge.
Yeah.
So what will you give to us to appease our honor?
Yeah, we need to. Okay.
You have been injured, this is true. Very well. I shall answer one question.
Who wants to ask the question?
Huddle up.
Yeah.
Get together. We gotta make this a good one, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, we know we're in a race to get there. We set out the last... I know we're in a race to get there, and we kind of set out last. Maybe we should see if he knows some kind of shortcut or something.
Well, he did already say the easiest way to get there was just by following the path. I feel like
True.
he's not really going to try to give us more information other than that. I kind of want to find out a little bit more about this Immortal Dragon Emperor, like what's going on specifically.
Yeah, what
like,
makes him
why
tick?
us? Yeah,
Why were we chosen?
yeah. Does that sound
That's
good?
the question. That's the question.
Yeah.
Why are we chosen for this?
Yep.
Okay.
If he knows that even,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I will say, you kind of asked previously, and he made a big bullshit bluff answer of like, yes, it's the Immortal Dragon Emperor is a mystery unto himself, kind of thing. You might get some, like, if you ask a very specific question regarding that, he might know the answer to it, but as to like, what's the Dragon Emperor's motivations, maybe not so much.
What about like, does the Immortal Dragon Emperor have a weakness? You know, or something that he hates?
Good question.
I mean, yeah, we could do that.
That's a viable question. Okay.
Yeah, okay. No, I'm
Yep.
cool with that. Yeah.
All right, so you like in this sort of like huddle group while the monkey musicians set up and start playing this song that is very jaunty, upbeat, and not at all like the music that you're currently listening to if you're in the stream. It's actually, you know what? I might actually just skip the song. It's very upbeat.
Oh man, there's music.
Yeah, I know you guys can't hear it, but I'll play it for the
Lucky,
audience.
I wanted to hear some music.
Let's shadows, calm down.
I'm excited for these little monkey musicians.
So they
I know, like just you as a person are excited for them.
so they're
Me
playing.
Me as a
even your
player.
character.
Yeah.
So
So-
yeah, little monkeys were in. I am in.
Yeah, they're like the Shaolin monk almost sort of tunics, but they're all playing this sort of like really jaunty, upbeat music, which those of you in the chat are now enjoying. So while they're doing that, you turn to Yang Sun and ask the question. I'm assuming.
One of you want to ask it?
I mean, you're right next to him.
Yeah.
All right. So this Immortal Dragon Emperor guy, I mean, you're not going to tell us too much about him, I guess, but is there anything that he hates? Anything that he's weak to?
Ordinarily, I would not speak of my liege's weaknesses, but to not answer this question would further dishonor me. You have me at an impasse. Let me think a moment. And he just sort of like scratches one of his I guess mustache-like appendages that are coming off his face. And he twirls one around his finger and goes, "The simplest answer would be he is both weak to and hates his wife, the Empress."
Oh my god. All right, Nine just looks back at everybody and she's just like, it's time to go.
I didn't even know there was an empress.
If there is an emperor, there is clearly an empress. One cannot have one without the other. Now,
I don't know. I'm just a little boy.
I don't know, I'm just a little boy.
I'm just
He-
a cat.
Yeah, he looks at you, Arcry, with a bit more like he's kind of like, you know, that sort of 1,000-yard stare that people get sometimes when they're in conversations. He kind of finally focuses on you all, a little bit more than just oh hey, there are people here that I'm talking to, and he goes, "You're injured. How did this happen?"
Oh, birds.
Birds?
Yeah, a bunch of birds beat me up.
This happened
It was
where?
kind of our just down the road by a bunch of statues.
When you say that, there is like a rumble and the cave actually shakes a little bit, and he goes, "People assaulted guests of the Emperor on the Emperor's Road?"
Well, birds, not people, but yeah.
Ah. This is shameful. Come here, boy.
Yeah, okay. This is
Yeah.
a big friendly dragon still to me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
Well,
you...
and like I imagine like your feet are in the water, so you just like jump all the way in and like
Yeah.
waddle.
ow, 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 ow.
Yeah. And he's still upside down, but he kind of does like this big inhalation of air. Like, and then there's just like a real puff of like a wave of force and a puff of air hits you. And to those of you who are watching from outside of this, Ari and Nine Lives, you see this golden wind sort of just exhale and hit Arcry. Arcry, you recover.
Give me them heals.
52 hit points.
Oh, I look
Nice.
great.
Yep.
I look better than I ever had.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. So, he goes, "This is the best I can do for you for now. But once you reach the castle, please let the Emperor know that such dishonor was shown to you."
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay. Thank you.
You are most welcome. Cool.
Turn to 9. I'm just like, see, 9. If you're nice to people, they're nice to you too.
I mean, we got attacked on the way into the we got attacked already. Like just trying to get into the gates. I didn't think this was a thing.
Oh, it shouldn't have been, but this assault on your person is most disconcerting. If the Immortal Dragon Emperor's word is not law, then, well, the lawless must be rounded up and shown. What happens to those who dishonor themselves? And he glances at the monkeys who start playing faster.
So wait, real quick. So what can you tell us about the shrines that are back there? Do you know anything about them?
They are shrines to the great seven spirits of the realm. Those who protect us. Those who saved us.
Do you know that one of them is destroyed?
He raises an eyebrow, which is disconcerting because he's upside down. So he lowers an eyebrow, I guess. And he goes, "No, this is most troubling."
Yeah, well, one is definitely destroyed, and that's all 9 is gonna say about
Yeah,
it.
okay. Fair enough.
It was the raven statue was destroyed.
Yeah,
I think?
the Raven Spirit.
Yeah, but do we know that it was the Raven Spirit?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No, if you recall, you did a check when you got there.
Okay, yeah. I mean, she's just not gonna say anything because she
Yeah.
knows stole from one of them.
Yeah, so Yang Soon looks at you all and goes, "Well, it seems you're not interested in my offer. I really want that fruit, but if you have other things to do, I
Well,
might..."
If we're going to get, sorry, if we're gonna get that fruit for you, we need a little more than you're just going to give us some advice.
Yeah, we're in a pretty big rush.
I tell
If
you
you
what.
could get us there faster, maybe.
Or maybe you have any like healing potions for us or anything like that?
Well, I could use my sacred breath to heal your ills if that is what you want.
I mean, can I bottle that? Like, I want to take something on the go.
I'm not sure if sacred breath can be bottled, but if you have a vessel for it, we could always try. And he sort of like grins, which again is really, really weird because he's upside down.
I quickly look through my
Inventory?
rucksack. I realize I'm pretty much a poor beggar, so
Yeah. He
I don't have anything other than just like gold. About it.
Yeah?
Actually, I have a vial, I think.
Yeah? That'd work.
I think I have a vial.
Oh no, I don't have anything. Just kidding.
Fair enough.
like a water skin.
Yeah?
Nope, I don't.
Yeah.
Or well, I have a water skin. Can we try that?
Yeah, if you'd like.
Might as well. Yeah.
He reaches out and with his two little like taloned fingers, well no, they're massive fingers, they're small to him. He like grasps the end of the water skin and pulls it back and goes, and you just see this golden like wind is the best way to describe it, sort of just exit his mouth and sort of effervescent around the opening of this this water skin, and you see that the water that was contained within starts to glow from inside the water skin sack, and then he goes, "I'll just keep this on me until you bring me the fruit," and he just retracts it underneath the water level.
All right,
Deal's a deal.
fine. I'm just gonna go ahead and try to climb the tree to get to the
Cool. All right.
I will do much the same.
What would you like to do for a check? How are you doing this?
I'm trying
I'd like
to
to
look.
acrobatics my way up.
Oh, that's a good choice. That'll work.
run up the tree.
Yeah.
Oh, I think monks have like a special ability as well.
They do.
Where they can run.
jump.
Level 17 monks are ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna climb up it with my cat's claws. I have a climbing speed of 20 feet.
Nice.
Ooh.
So you're both doing this at the same time? And I guess
Race.
Ari's sitting there with a sword being assaulted. Yeah.
Well, I'm sitting there keeping an eye on everything. Ari's
Yeah.
not trusting anybody.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I just, as soon as he says, like, I'm gonna keep this until I get what I want, I'm just like, all right, and I just start climbing up the tree.
Cool, that's fine. That'll take you about 6 rounds. You don't need to take a check or anything. But were you going to try something bullshit cool there, Agent? Not that you're not doing something that's bullshit cool, Ken.
Oh yeah.
But yours is certainly
I
the
mean-
Stolen Seti wins the race approach. What's
I think
Ari
if she's
doing?
kind of clawing up the
okay.
tree, I'm gonna try to like run to like grab a branch and do a flip up. You know, gain as much like momentum as I can. Swing through the trees like one of these little butler monkeys.
Yep, sure thing. Okay, that's going to require a few skill checks.
Yeah.
So,
Acrobatics.
yes, I would like you to roll 3 acrobatic checks, please. One after the other.
I'm really good at acrobatics.
I know you are.
Specialty. That's a 6 plus 17.
Yeah, okay, that'll work.
23.
Yep,
And again a 6.
yep. Okay.
And then a 3, so a non-natural 20.
3. Wow, okay. Alright, so yeah, you... Let's paint a word picture. So yeah, you see the tree that 9 is climbing. And you go, well, 9 Lives is climbing that tree. I'm going to climb this other tree, but that's the tree I'm going to get up to because that's the one with the fruit on it. So you run in the opposite direction and sort of just, I guess, using the skills that were taught to you by your master, I guess turn your like heel slightly on the surface of this wood, and just chop, 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 straight up the side of it till you get to the lowest branch. Hook your leg over it, stand up, and then effectively balance your way out over this bough over the water, and you see the sort of the immensity of Yangsun from your vantage point. Then leap over, grab, and you have a moment where you're like, oh shit, like the branch is a little bit too thin, but it bends enough to actually lower you to a safer branch that you then use to effectively do the same sort of like hop, skip, and jump up that you saw the Ronin do earlier.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
sort of jumping from tree to tree. And Nine, you've just seen this sort of ridiculous display by this young boy who's trying to show you up, and you're just like, I'm just
still
climbing.
probably not beating her.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I'm
think
a pretty fast climber.
yeah, I'm gonna say that it basically takes you about the same amount of time after this acrobatic display, to effectively get to the top of this tree where this fruit is growing from is sort of curved up, and it is basically the trunk that turns into the branch. There is a lower, very thin branch that goes out that you could use to effectively vantage yourself underneath it. You'd have to probably reach out, hold yourself to the branch that holds it, and then kind of pull it in while using this thing to steady yourself. That makes sense? So you'd be standing on the branch underneath, reaching up, holding the branch that's above, and then you'd have this fruit that's sitting there.
Could we do a little
Um,
teamwork?
Well, I was gonna ask, so since we're like up, like in the area that the dragon said,
Yeah.
was potentially dangerous, do I see anything weird up here?
Ghosts.
You've actually gone out of the caldera at that point. You're like sort of above ground level now. There are more trees around you, and there is it's almost like a suffocating darkness coming from this surrounding forest. Roll a perception check, guys. Unfortunately,
The
not
ones
for
in
you.
the tree?
Just the ones in the trees. Sorry.
Critical fail.
Oh, okay.
30.
30. Ooh, okay. I think Arkwright's too focused on the fruit. What? Yeah. Nine, you see shadowy figures moving through the forest to your left that appear to be, they're in a line, and it takes a moment before you recognize them as the group of tieflings that you saw coming through here previously. And the only reason it sort of clicks is that one of them glances back, and you think they may have seen you, but you can see that glowing red eye effect that you saw before, and it sort of just sits there and kind of sears and burns into your vision for a second as it disappears as they turn away.
Okay.
But yeah,
Are they coming towards us?
no, they're just traveling on.
Okay.
But they
Are they on a path?
no, they're not.
It is okay. So, what I will kind of want to do.
Yeah.
Is there a way for me to just like throw myself off of the tree and try to grab the orange, like, and just like rip it down?
Oh yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
if I do that, will I die?
You will be having to do that at a disadvantage if you want to like not land in the water.
I want to do that.
Okay. This is going to be interesting. I think you've got fairly
God.
decent acrobatics. By the way, I will say this, and I did forget to mention this, but Yang Soon was incredibly entertained by your feats of acrobatic prowess, and he was clapping as you were sort of doing your hup, 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 hup stuff. Please continue, Kitten.
Just this little kid, just like jumping, like yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I can do this.
So, just as a thing, if you'd like to mitigate this disadvantage, you could always use one of your advantage charges.
Well, at disadvantage, I got 21.
That's not going to be enough.
It's not. Oh, fick.
Oh, fish.
Then yeah, I'll use one of my.
Okay, I will allow you to re-roll 1 dice
Okay.
in return for 1 charge.
Okay. Thanks for the charges, guys. Oh, okay, that's a lot better.
What'd you get?
That would be 29.
29? Yeah, that'll work.
Yes.
So I guess you look at Arcry and you're like, this little shit with his like I come from an actual ninja clan and this guy thinks he's got it going on. What the heck? And
I
you
live on a beach.
and you basically like dig your heels or your claws in, I guess, and just do like a you know that like
Fate?
that launch. Well, yeah, it is that, but it's that launch off where the bark sort of pricks back. Just zoom past Arcry, grab the fruit. I think turn and do like a cheeky little like cat grin.
I was gonna say, just like start shoving the middle finger out there.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. And you fall 120 feet, and when you land, you duck your tail in and use it to like swing you around a branch and land.
All
And you
right.
land very expertly on the ground. And what do you do? Would you like with the mandarin just like haha, or like what's that?
No, I land and then I just go up to the dragon and I give it to him.
Yeah, cool.
I already showed off at Arcry. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just like, ah, man.
Are
I'm
you
like
trying to
slowly
better-
climbing my way back
See-
down the tree.
see-
You try to
defeated.
best me?
Here's the thing. See, you try to do that, Arcry, and
No.
except the leaves of this tree, there's like a sudden burst of wind as they swirl up in front of you as you're like watching. I guess you'd be watching where Nine Lives went, and there's this swirl of like wind that rises up with all these leaves blowing in it, and it makes a vaguely humanoid shape, looks at you and goes, "Thief!" Roll initiative.
Oh my god. So what we've learned so far is 9 likes to get Arcry into trouble.
Yes. That's 19.
19. Oh, that's good. You go first.
I didn't even touch it.
Yeah. So yeah, there is what would appear to be an incorporeal figure floating in front of you, about 5 feet away from where you're at, making like the Invasion of the Body Snatchers point and sort of like moan at you, I guess, saying thief. What do you do?
I guess it's like it's right in front of me. Can I disengage and like jump down from the tree?
Sure. Roll me an acrobatics check at disadvantage. You'll also actually, you know what? You'll actually incur an attack of op on that because you're. Oh no, you're disengaging. My bad.
But disengage.
Yeah.
Very high. 16 plus 17.
Yeah, that's enough.
30.
Yeah.
3.
How do you do this? How do you land safely?
I'm thinking kind of like, kind of goes like, ah, and like stumbles backwards a minute. I think kind of using my slow fall, I kind of fall ungracefully down the tree.
Like boof,
and
boof,
kinda,
boof,
like,
boof, boof.
I hit a few branches, but kind of managed to like grab hold of one and swing into hitting another one, and
Yeah.
then, kind of end just like running down the trunk, similar to the way I went up in the first place.
Well, I mean, you did do a successful. I'm going to say that this is all very comedic, but not actually incurring any damage because you did pass the check.
Yeah,
I was like,
I can slow fall and negate 85 points of damage. Or
oh,
something,
you'll
so.
be fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you land and okay. That's your turn. So you land on the ground.
Yeah, and then I'm like,
Ghost.
ghost? Question mark.
You hear Yang Sun go, "Oh, that's the spirit I mentioned." The
I didn't
spirit.
even do anything.
Yeah, the spirit descends, and the gust grows, and you start seeing like the monkey. I guess you call them the monkey butlers, but the monkey musicians. Their clothes are starting to flap in the breeze. One of them is like getting pushed and buffeted around to the point where they're like, "Oh God, I have to grab onto the ground, or I'm going to go flying." The music stops, and some of the cabbages and lettuces start tumbling around. It descends and it goes, "Return what you stole!"
At this point, I look at the dragon and I still have the fruit in my hand, and I say, "Stop that thing right now! Talk to it, or I'm going to destroy this."
To the dragon, the
Yes.
Yangsun.
Yes.
He just opens his mouth expectantly. Like, nah, throw the fruit in is basically what he said. We're kind of dealing with a bit of a mixed initiative thing, because I wasn't actually expecting you guys to just be like, "Nope, I'm going bail." So it doesn't want to look bad in front of its boss. Okay, yeah. So Yang Soon just goes to the spirit. "Calm now, they are my agents in this matter. Your honor is retained, they were acting in my stead." And he rolls a really, really, really good diplomacy check to this spirit. The spirit regards you all and goes, "My sisters will watch for you." And it dissipates. Got that over, I
Alright.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great combat. All right.
Yeah.
So I throw the fruit at the dragon. Just toss it.
Just peg it at his eye. Yeah.
Take that.
He gulps it. He gulps it down and goes, "Mmm, delicious," and starts to like. He's like doing that sort of like squirm, I guess, but it's a full body thing, and you see his tail move as he sort of starts rubbing himself around the rocks and like scratch. It's almost like he's like doing that thing like cats do where they rub up against things. He's scratching himself using the rocks.
Scratching himself.
Yeah, and his entire body then goes into the pool. He rolls over onto his front, so he's looking at you the right way up, and with his two tiny front legs, lifts himself up, and you just see this water cascade off him with all this steam. And he goes, "You have done me a great service. So, the way forward is open, and you have one more question to ask. Oh, before I forget." And he hands the water skin to you. 9 lives.
I'll take that.
Um,
Put it in my pocket.
And then he sort of, his eyes, like, squint at you, Arcry. He goes, "Boy, that bracelet you have, what is that?"
Seashells.
"No, it's more than that. Where did you get it?"
My mom made it for me.
"Your mother? Was she a great magician?"
I don't know. She always said she was an adventurer.
May I? And he reaches out these dainty little claws.
And I think are quite like hesitant. As this is kind of like the only kind of keepsake of his parents he still has. And he just kind of holds it close to his chest.
Come, come, I have many riches in my hoard. A little trinket is not worth my time, but you have piqued my interest.
You can look with your eyes.
He just,
With your special eyes.
yeah. His head leans in to the point where, like, his eyeball is, like, that far away from you, and it just sort of googly, like, he's doing that thing where he's, like, side on, and looks at it. And then he goes, leans back, and sort of has like this big belly laugh, and he goes, "It's sleeping and not yet awake."
And I kind of just tap on it a few times.
I guess. Oh no, this is what you need to do. And he breathes this golden breath into his hand, and you see him sort of start to weave it around his fingers, and it makes like a silk thread, and weaves and weaves and weaves. And then as you watch this sort of this magic being made, you notice that the it becomes a small gold dragon that is like a miniature version of himself. And then he goes, "This won't hurt a bit," and flicks it at you. And you just see this dragon like zoom in and just bury itself into this keepsake. And you now have a bracelet of elemental summoning.
What?
The bracelet that you're wearing, you suddenly become aware of has an entity within it. And you're pretty certain you just instinctively know how to summon
it. Thank you.
It
looks really nice now. Is like the little golden twine like
yeah
woven in it now? Or?
It's fading, but it's sort of like, I guess it's almost like he added just a little bit to it to make it do the thing that it's supposed to do. He goes, "Now don't be shy. Ask it out. I'm always interested in meeting new people and elementals."
Hello. Should I? Hearing this, don't do it. I'm like, oh, should I not do this? Is this a bad idea?
This is dangerous. This is very dangerous. Does that take concentration?
So, Agent, you have an item. I believe it's called a what is it? A ring of elemental summoning?
Djinn summoning?
Yeah, Jinn summoning. So yeah,
Ginny summoning.
Ginny summoning. So you can now summon a water Jinn.
Cool.
Yeah. Which that's a cool item that you now have.
I gotta figure out what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess I hesitate to bring it forth for a second and then kind of go like come out,
yeah,
and just kind of like put my hand forward and try to bring it out into the world.
So sort of like reaching out like that, sort of like with a hand's blade sort of thing.
Yeah, like
this
palm down.
Yeah. So the steam from this pool just sort of gathers and starts just swirling around in your hand. Much like how he was sort of wrapping this magical like band made of magical dragon, like a band around his fingers. You're getting much the similar kind of effect. And then there is this steam like burst that's far more voluminescent than what was actually there, as this being that looks, I'm going to be a bit cheap here, but looks very reminiscent from the genie from Aladdin. Kind of just appears.
The Will Smith version, or
no, original. Yes, very cartoony. He just sort of stands forward and goes, "What is your bidding, my master?"
What's your name?
He looks surprised and goes...
I look equally surprised back.
He goes, "I was not given one, master."
Oh. Everybody needs a name. I look at Nine Lives' reaction.
What's going on?
This is not in character at all. And
Yeah.
it's like just super not impressed, but like me as a person, I'm just like, yes, be friends with it.
The monkeys are setting up their music, and then they do a musical number like you never had a friend like me. No. No, they're setting up again, but they're sorry, one second.
Yeah, I think I'd ask the dragon. Do you know his name or a good name for him?
He thinks for a moment. He goes, I think something watery might be appropriate. Maybe like
Aquafina.
steamy. Aquafina. The genie, the djinn just sort of looks at you and goes like, I do not wish to be known as steamy. And Yang Sun just goes, I tried.
What about just Aqua?
Aqua. Yes, I shall be known as Aqua. What is your bidding, my master?
I don't know. But what can you do?
I can do many things. I'm turning into
Can you
Yang
help
Sun.
us get to the castle?
I can be your guard and guide, of course, master.
Great. Well, lead the way.
He says, of course. Where are we, master?
I don't know. We're in a weird multi-universe.
Yang Sun helpfully pipes up and goes, Yang Sung rather, goes, you are in the gardens of the esteemed Imperial Majesty, the Immortal Dragon Emperor. Most specifically, you are currently in the Bath of 1,000 Pleasures.
Oh no.
We've experienced at least 2.
At least. That you know of. Okay, so, Yang Sun, goes, well, that was an interesting exchange. I would like to go back to my bath now, but I still owe you an answer, so chop chop.
What's our next question? So we convene again. We get back together.
Yep.
Question time. Jeopardy.
What is the Empress like?
Where is the Empress? I
No,
could probably the
but-
castle.
No, so what is she like?
I mean, we
Because
only
we
have
already-
one more question. I don't know if we should.
You guys feel free to discuss it if you want. Like,
I was just
or is that
Poll
the...
the audience.
Because there was the response of you can't have an emperor without an empress and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Very
yeah, that
perceptive.
the emperor doesn't even apparently he doesn't even particularly like the empress. If that's kind of like what 9 got out of it.
Yeah,
Very,
that's
very
what-
observant.
That's what Ari got out of it. So I'm thinking that the empress might have something to do where we might be able to help
I'd
her
rather-
if she helps us.
Yeah, I'd rather
Good
ask
ballot.
where we can find the empress.
Okay.
I guess.
Is that...
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah.
That makes
Yep.
sense.
Okay. So, what... Yeah, ask the question.
You mentioned before about the emperor and the empress. Is there a way for us to find her? Would you know where she's at?
Ah, you wish to speak to the Immortal Empress. Well, I do not have much dealings with her personally. I am the High Advisor to the Immortal Dragon Emperor, you see. However, if you wish to speak to Coordinator Kiyoshi, he is probably the most suited person to grant you an audience with her.
Was that the tiefling from before?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was the tiefling that announced.
And he goes, he also says, but between you and I, and he sort of leans in a little bit conspiratorially and goes, I know that she is quite partial to moonlit walks on the parapets of the Western Wing.
Well,
Write
we're
that
not
down
on
in my
the
notes.
western side. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's basically the answer he gives you. Would you like to talk with young Sun anymore? Continue on with your journey? What's the plan here, guys?
Wait, are we on the western side?
No, you're on the eastern side, but he
Yeah.
what he's directly referencing is the castle that you're going
the
to.
western wing of the castle. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, I think our business here is done.
I think our
We got
business.
we got our potions. He got his fruit. He's out the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
We made
Is
a new friend.
did everybody get healed up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone, I believe, you guys can take 15 minutes if you'd like, or 15 minutes, 20 minutes to heal up if you'd like to expend some hit dice. Get yourself back up to tippy top.
I did just want to ask, have we taken a short rest yet, or?
I'm happy to count. I'm happy to count this encounter as a short rest if you'd like.
Okay.
Because I'm nice.
I just want to get my key back. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Good.
I will take it.
Good. Okay. Young Sun sort of just looks at you all and goes, well, it was very nice to meet you all. I suppose I had better finish up here sooner or later, but I will see you at the castle. If you survive the journey. And with a big belly laugh, he just sort of like retracts into the water. And you just see these bubbles sort of just foam up from where he was. But now he's completely subsumed.
Bye, Yangsan.
Are the monkeys still around?
Yeah, they're packing up their kit, and they look like they're gonna go sit in the trees again.
Is Aqua still around, or
Yeah, he's just standing there.
do you want to go back in the bracelet?
I want to do whatever my master commands of me.
I feel like you're
Okay.
better as an ace in the hole. Let's keep you hidden for now.
Oh no.
Yes, my master, I will be an ace in your hole. And he whistles. He turns into this.
Sure about that one.
He turns into this vapor and just sort of like goes into the bracelet. I'm going to hand over control of the Jin to you, so if you get the template up, you can tell me basically, you can treat him as another character in the turn order. Well, but you can use him as the magic is counted. What's up, kitten?
Sure.
He wants to be your Pikachu. He wants to be outside of his Pokeball. God damn it!
We'll let him out.
I'm sorry. Okay, no.
He just wants to be an ace in your hole. That's all he wants in life.
He wants to
Oh
be
my
an
God.
example. Okay, if we're just gonna like start walking down the path, if we're gonna pass by the monkeys, I want to see if they have anything valuable.
Yeah, look, they've got very nice tunics. You're pretty certain the buttons on them are made of gold.
I mean, I don't want to like just rip a tunic off of a monkey.
Give me that.
Yeah. I don't want to disrespect the dragon. Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to see if like there's anything like I could just like
Oh.
try to like slightly like pick up off the ground and like put in one of my like
Well,
interdimensional pockets.
there's the instrument that the monkey that got thrown into space was carrying, which is this little dizzy, which is like a bamboo flute on the ground. You could pick that up. No one else seems to have retrieved it.
I mean, does it look shiny or?
It looks very well made. You're pretty certain you could flip it for a buck if you a buck or two if you
I'll take that.
Yep, cool. All right. You're going to now, I guess, continue your journey, but for right this second, I think we're going to go to intermission. So those of you who are watching the chat, we have a poll question that will come up in intermission. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Please give me answers to the poll so I can help change the story slightly. And you guys can have some influence. Already had some really interesting outcomes. So I'll go to intermission now. Feel free to do that. The poll will happen shortly. See you all in 5:10.
We're Nerds of the West. We're live streaming some board games because we're trying to have a good time and hopefully you will too. You want to know what that means? Oh no! No!
Oil your skin.
Oh! Yes! Team! Yay! Really? No! Oh!
Are we safe? Can I trust you?
You can trust me.
You killed me.
Welcome back, guys. Thank you for taking the time to answer the poll. Got some good results. I'll be interested to see how that goes. Alrighty. So, you now are, I guess, walking away from the High Advisor, the High Advisor Yang Sun, who is... Oh, we got ourselves an advanced Tweedo. Huh. Okay.
I don't remember
Alright.
you saying
Oh.
anything about us not being able to give advantage to ourselves.
Yeah, that's fine. I also had my transitions
Careful
not
with
set
it.
up properly. Yeah. Okay. If you want to do that, if you want, look, the way I look at it, this is sort of like bribing the DM with food, except I guess you're doing it with bits. But that's fine. Cool.
Yeah, I mean it's a whole $1. That'll get you a junior bacon cheeseburger here in America.
Right. The Burger Nation.
Yeah.
The home of the hamburger. Actually, when I went to the US, just as a quick aside, when I went to the US, you guys, your burger technology is unbelievable. Like next level
Why, thank
stuff.
you. I did it. It's all me.
It's all you. Good stuff. All right, let's get back to the fantasy realm I have built for you all. Okay. God, I'm trying not to invoke the meme of "Dare you enter my magical realm," but there we are. This is not that kind of game. Right, so you are making your way along this path that is leading away from the enigmatic Yang Sun. And you find that the pathway very, very quickly leads back, and in a very direct route, leads back up to the surface. You come out into this very spooky forest. And it's a minute or two walking down this path that you notice there is a mist creeping along the base of the path, just sort of coming out. It's sort of it's almost that that moment where if someone was a little bit more prepared, such as I, they would have like a music cue where it'd be like the low oboes, like boom, boom, sort of like stuff happening. The lights from the paper lanterns are actually, it's almost like they're being visibly overtaken by this darkness and this mist. And you're walking, and what you suddenly realize is that there are no more paper lanterns.
Ruh-roh.
You're on this.
Are we still on the path?
You're still on the path, but the paper lanterns are missing. Roll me perception checks.
I have dark vision. Does that
Okay.
help me in any way?
Yeah, okay. You actually see this, but I'll wait for the others to finish rolling.
Okay.
16.
13.
Sorry, what was that, 16?
16, yeah.
Yeah.
For Ari.
Okay, so Nine Lives and Ari, you see that there are paper lanterns, actually. In fact, they are on the ground and have been stamped out. It looks like someone has come through and cut them down.
Okay.
Okay, I want to do a survival roll. I want to see if I can think the survival roll, I get to see the footprint.
That's an investigate.
Is that investigate?
Yeah.
Okay. No, survival just lets me see if someone's been there before.
Well, survival is sort of like foraging for food, trying to find like shelter. Basically, survival skills in the wild. Whereas what you're trying to do is discern what happened here. So,
Okay, so
yep.
So Ari has none of that. So Ari is just going to look at the others and what's going on.
At this point, I want to like just
Mhm.
kind of like, even though she hates it and she doesn't really want to do it, Nine Lives just kind of wants to like grab Arcry and just kind of like hold him just a little bit like close to her, so that way he doesn't get like lost or anything. I guess.
Right.
Like just like in like the fog and everything.
I'm gonna wander off the path.
Unattended children, we all know
I
this
think it's
happens.
Yeah, well, it's just more so like she like was obviously there for like the whole interaction with like the dragon, and she just kind of like was just like he's just an adorable child. I just want to protect him a little bit, I guess, if I have to.
The mothering
That's what
instincts kick in, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good.
She hates it, but it's a thing.
I appreciate that over setting me into fight after fight.
I know. She feels just a little bad. Just a little bad. Not really bad, but just a
Yeah.
little bad.
Yeah, so what do you guys do?
Keep going on the
just-
path.
Stay
I'm
on the
gonna,
path.
yeah, just try to like follow like the stamped out lanterns as best as possible.
I mean, it's not hard. You can just follow the path. It just looks like someone's come through here with like either a sword or a knife or something, and basically gone. Oh, it's on the ground. Stomp, stomp, stomp. They're only made of paper. They have little like almost tea leaf lights.
Okay.
Tea
Can
leaf.
I-
Do
Tea
we
lights.
see anything else like beyond that?
I'm so glad you asked. You walk along the path for another 5 minutes or so, and as you do, you notice that there is a blue glow off the path to your right, a couple of 100 feet away, and it flickers. If it weren't for the fact that it was blue, you would think it's a campfire.
But it's off the path.
Off the path.
Well, it is.
That feel when the players all go, "Oh, I don't want to. I want to check it out, but I'm
No.
kind of worried."
No, like the player in me is just like, just keep walking down the path. But the like character that I'm playing as would be like, that's a shiny thing. I want to go see if I can take something from there.
Okay.
So I just
Yeah.
kind of like look at Ari and I just kind of like push Arcry like closer to Ari, and I'm gonna try to walk towards the blue light.
Okay.
So
Um.
Ari's gonna respond back to her and hold on to our cry and be like, remember our time. We have
Yeah.
to get there.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah. Even the moon is a little bit difficult to see here. This impossibly large moon that you've sort of been using as a measure of time. It's rising higher in the sky, but it's obfuscated with like this thin layer of clouds that are sort of just permeating the space. Okay, cool. So, are you guys wanting to sneak up on this? Walk
Should we,
on up?
yeah, should we stick
Well,
together?
is
I
it
think?
just gonna be me, or do you guys want to stay on the path and I'm just gonna try to sneak up to it the best that I can? That way I can
mean,
at least get like a good.
I
look
rolled, and
on
I'm
it.
definitely also like, ooh, shiny stuff. Like,
Very cool.
Okay, I mean, yeah, whatever you want to do. I can be real sneaky.
Okay.
I'm pretty
Fair enough.
sneaky.
All right. Roll me stealth checks for those of you who are approaching this flickering blue light.
19.
Okay.
Non-natural 20.
Nice.
23.
Excellent. All right. So yeah, you all ninja style
Sneakies.
sneaky up, and you see 3 figures clad in armor, traditional samurai armor. Their backs are to you, and they're sitting on logs, and they appear to be drinking from what looks like a big sake gourd or something along those lines, and passing this around in like these gloved hands. And they seem to be talking amongst themselves. You can't quite make out what's being said. It's sort of like they're whispering or something amongst themselves. But more than that, you're also pretty certain they're saying a lot of the same stuff over and over again. But it's not like they're chanting it or repeating it or anything. It's more like, have you guys? And this is a pop culture reference, but have any of you guys ever watched a TV show called Red Dwarf? It's
Years and years
No.
ago.
There's a particular comedic scene where basically they're stuck in a time loop, and but it's out of sequence, and they're talking about the same subject, and they go back to like the previous point, and it's like they're trying to find their time, if that makes sense. That's the impression you get from the conversation. They'd be like, if the conversation was like about a color, for example, it's like, yes, the color blue's my favorite color. But as you know, like red also has its qualities, and yellow. But the color blue is fantastic, and it's my favorite color. It's that kind of patter. Like they constantly circle back to the same points.
Right.
You're not quite certain.
Do we recognize any of these samurai from when we like went through the
No.
gate?
No.
Or during like the meeting? No.
Just a flat intelligence check from everyone.
11.
10.
10, 11, and...
Ah, 1 second.
all good.
Okay, 20?
20?
20?
Yeah, it's not really apparent to you guys, but Nine Lives, this armor is ancient. You've seen suits of this sort of stuff in a few of the lordly castles you've been sent to like steal secrets from back when your clan was still around. This is like ancient ceremonial samurai armor, and it looks ancient as well. It doesn't look like it's been maintained. They also have like a tiny monkey playing. No, they're just sitting there drinking.
How... Okay, like, since we've gotten closer to them, how, like, bright is this light, I guess, that...
Much
you said,
brighter.
like, they're carrying, like, torches and stuff?
Oh, actually, no, that's a very good point. Yeah, no, they're sitting around a blue fire.
Do I know anything about why the fire is blue?
Nope.
Spooky.
Nope. You're pretty certain it's not natural fire, put it that way. Like, this isn't a naturally occurring thing. It's definitely got... What? You're freaking out on me. What's going on?
Just maybe possibly click to me. I turn over and I look at both Arkai and Ari, and I say to them, maybe we're dealing with ghosts? Possibly?
Can I do a history check?
Yes, yes, you may.
Crap.
What'd you get?
9.
9? No. It's not that you don't know your history, it's that you're just not able to put the pieces together here. You are pretty certain that these are definitely warriors' garbs you've seen before somewhere in your world. If this is if you think of this as another world, right? You've definitely seen this kind of costuming. You're not this style of like combat dress. You're just not sure where or who it would belong to.
Mm-hmm.
Do
I
we
look
see...
spooked.
Do we see any sort of like possibly like damage done to these like warriors?
Very good question. So the clothing is definitely unkempt, but you definitely notice that there are like chips off of like some of the pauldrons. There is battle damage on this armor. It's seen use for sure.
Okay.
They don't have like a gaping arrow hole or anything.
Not that you
With
see.
Back, I guess, because we're behind them.
Yeah, they are kind of silhouetted, so it would be hard to make any of that. So what you can see is there is definitely damage that's been done to this armor, but you can't see anything about their person. But that's up to you. Like, you could always edge around the camp, do some more stealth checks, try not to get noticed, have a look, if you'd like to do more sneaky.
Yeah, I want to do a little bit more investigation of
Cool.
what's around them.
Cool. Roll me a stealth check and then an investigation.
Stealth is 23.
Ooh, equals beats. So, how do you try to?
Time to make friends.
I hate that rule.
You're lucky. You're so unlucky. I rolled a 19 on the dice.
Oh man.
So they How do you try to sneak around the camp to see, what their deal is?
I mean, I'm assuming like I'm just trying to get like close enough to like. When you say camp, do you mean like it's set up like a camp? Like there's like definitely like bedrolls around, or
No, you don't see any bedrolls. There's just like the fallen logs they're sitting on and a fire. That's all I meant by camp. It's just it's not like a tent set up with. This would be very similar to like sitting around a bonfire in a backyard and having beer. That's the distinct impression you get.
Yeah, what I would assume, like I tried to do, was at least like just get close enough to see if I could like listen in on what they were saying.
Mm-hmm.
and then I don't know, probably just like stepped on like a stick or something like that. And
Right.
made myself apparent.
There's a good old snap, twig snap, and then they all just stop talking. And
Yeah, I think it was like more so Nine was just like really fixated on like how blue and pretty the light was.
yeah. So they sort of like they don't like stand to attention. Oh, what's that? You know, turn. But they sort of like put the gourd down. One of them stands up. He puts his hand on a sword, turns around, and Nine, you're in a perfect position to see this. The others not so much because they're still silhouetted. As this figure turns and you can see the front of the helmet, it is a skeletal face. It's withered and drawn. It's like a mummy, less than a decomposed corpse. If that makes sense. And he turns and he goes, "Hello? Who was out there? Show yourself."
We can't see his face.
You guys can't. Kitten can. Sorry, Nine Lives can.
No, you're fine.
Oh, actually, you know what? One more thing.
But he doesn't notice.
Blue fire
me,
in
he
the
just
eyes.
Hears...
Yeah.
Okay, but he doesn't notice me. He just heard something, or
Yeah.
he like notices me.
He's definitely looking your direction. He hasn't seen you, but he knows that you're there. And his two friends are sort of like making very similar motions, like they're just sort of like slowly standing up. They're still silhouetted though, so it's very hard for you guys and your vantage point to actually see this. But Nine Lives is subjected to the full horror of this animated body.
Okay. I'm just gonna make myself known.
Okay.
So he says, "Hello, who's out there?" And I just kind of like, I guess like put my hands up. Yeah, I kind of just like put my hands up and walk forward, and I say, "Hello. I'm like, I don't mean you any harm at all. I saw a light off in the distance, and I just wanted to come check it out."
The warrior instantly relaxes and goes, "Oh, if you wanted to join us, you only needed to ask. Have a seat. Would you like some sake?"
No, I'm okay. Thank you very much for the offer, though. What are you doing out here?
We're enjoying the corporeal form.
I'm sorry.
Hi, who are you?
Hello. Sorry. I don't mean to be rude. My name is Nine.
Well, you only needed to say hello. Come and have a sit down and join us. Would you like some sake?
No, I'm sorry. I don't drink.
Oh, that's fine. Would you like to sit, join us for some sake, maybe a song, a talk? It's very lonely in the forest.
Sure. So I'll just kind of like make my way over and just like sit down, I guess.
Now, can Arkai and I hear what's being said? I don't know how far away.
You can now. This guy has turned and is definitely conversing, and you can pick out words. But I think you're at a distance. Like it's like you're not close enough to necessarily pick out entire conversational points. But you can definitely pick up like the general hubbub, if that makes sense. Because you're sneaking up on someone. There is very little chance of you being not noticed if you're like 2 feet away from someone, if that makes sense. So it's still a distance, but they seem chill. So yeah, he gestures to the there's an empty log on the other side, and he goes, "I am you."
Oh, I am you.
You.
Okay.
Who are you?
Oh God, I can't handle this. I did just say my name is Nine.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Sorry, it's sometimes hard to remember things. And one of the other warriors goes, "You stop teasing the poor tabaxi."
Oh God.
And Yu turns and goes, "I'm being hospitable when..." And there is this moment between them. where they sort of just stare each other down, and the third one stands up and goes, I will never understand this constant bickering between the two of you, you and Wen. And they both go, quiet, how?
Stop. Oh my god.
I remain in the shadows and just watch this unfold.
Mhm.
Oh no. Okay, so then I sat down, and then I just look at all of them and I say again, what brings all of you out here at this time of night and in these conditions?
Wen goes, well, it's the eve of the tournament. The spirits are allowed to, well, travel the land. It's part of our ancient pact with the Immortal Dragon Emperor. And we're enjoying these fine corporeal forms we found.
Okay. So you know about the tournament that's supposed to be happening.
Excuse me, one moment. And he turns and he goes, no, we found them first. Go away. Turns back. Goes, sorry, there are other spirits here that wish to talk to you, and as happily as I would normally be to allow you to do that, to converse with them, it's been 1,000 years. I'm really enjoying the fact that I can, and he starts crunching his fingers, and there's this horrible snickering. It's like paper, like breaking as he does this. He goes, I'm really enjoying the fact that I have hands. And how just goes like this, like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's totally fine. Like I don't mind like speaking with you. You find spirits. But again, like I just asked because we're kind of on like a time crunch at the moment.
He goes, we? There are more of you?
Fuck.
Well, you biffed it. Do we hear this?
Anywhere.
You'll be picking up words here and there. You know what? I'll let you guys make a perception check if you'd like.
All of us?
No, just the two that are waiting. Get better than,
I don't
say,
know.
15.
Nothing.
Nix and out of nothing.
18.
Yeah. No, you
Like
just...
10.
I think we're going to cut to you guys. You're just watching like 9 Live sitting down and just conversing with these 3 warriors. And they seem to be having a good time.
Right.
I mean, I still feel. I don't really
Did
trust.
they hear me call them out, basically?
No, not
This is
really.
spooky.
Oh, good. Well, if it's then I'm just gonna he says we, and then I just kind of like look over at my friends.
And then these 3 figures turn and look over their shoulders towards you. Their faces are obscured, but you see this blue light coming from where their eyes would be.
And then I just gesture them over.
Which is a fucking terrifying thought when you think about it. There's just like 3 figures that turn around with like these Terminator eyes, but they're blue flame.
Yeah, but I mean, 9 is just
Yeah.
sitting there like chatting, having like a good old time. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Just a cat and some spirits. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
Drinking sake.
Yeah, it's fine. Except the cat, but yes.
Yeah, so I think I getting summoned over, I kind of approach, and as they start kind of coming into light, I kind of do a like, hi, nice to meet you. My name is Arkra. Oh my god! As I
Yeah.
see like their faces just all
Yeah, it's just
decayed and
rictus
human.
rictus grin kind of thing.
I
And-
just gesture for Arcry to just come over and sit next to me, and I'm just like, it's gonna be fine. You'll
Yeah.
be all right.
Scoot, 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 scoot,
Yeah.
scoot.
You go,
So Ari
hi, I'm
makes
you.
her-
You're me?
No, I'm you. Not me. We know a me, but he's not here.
Where is here?
Oh, we're not sure. When do you
Oh.
know? And Wen goes, we just found these bodies. Sorry, what were you saying, Ari?
So Ari makes her way over, but she kind of like goes around them. When she sees their faces, she just kind of nods and looks over at Nine, nods at her, and just goes in and stands behind her and Arcry.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well,
All right, so then, I just want to say to the spirits, these are my friends. We were just walking down the path because we're actually invited to the tournament.
oh, you're going to the tournament.
Yes.
This is very interesting. Well, just so you know, if you die, we'll probably use your bodies at some point. Is that
Where
That's
did you
fine.
find
that all right?
When?
Yes. What? What? I'm when? Says the skeleton on the left.
So
Well,
Ari,
if we die, we'll
Oh.
see about that.
Yeah. If you die, we will probably use your bodies when the next, I guess, supplicants come through. Sake?
So it
And they offer the gourd.
And
I'd
then
still say no.
Next, come through. I'm
Yes.
too young. No, thank you.
Oh,
so Ari had heard when they said, they found the bodies. Where did you find the bodies?
oh, here? Wherever here is? Howard's just, like, this one guy who's just sort of been sitting there, like, I can't believe I'm stuck with these two idiots for eternity kind of style sort of thing. He speaks up and he goes, these were most likely the bodies of warriors slain centuries ago. I'm not exactly sure where in the forest we are, but I would hazard a guess that we're not too far away from the Imperial Court.
So it sounds like you have seen many tournaments.
More than we can count, they say in unison.
Okay. What number would this be, I guess?
They sort of all look at each other and go, oh. Well, you died first, didn't you? You. And you goes, I'm pretty certain Gwen died, though I don't remember how. How goes, I met you two first. And they're having this very confused conversation. And then they sort of come to a consensus, and they go, probably somewhere in the vicinity of 400? 400?
Okay.
Maybe...
Has anyone ever won?
Oh, we died well before we ever saw the castle, so... We were once, actually, supplicants.
Oh.
Although I don't remember why or when. And Wen goes, how can you not remember me? I'm right here.
So you don't know anything about why you came to the tournament? All you remember is just being at the tournament?
Sorry, one moment. And they all three go away. We know you want to talk to them, but no. These are our bodies. And they go, we're so sorry for that. Other spirits.
Do I see anything else happening around at all?
No, they just seem to be talking to the air.
Okay.
And one of them's
who are you talking to?
There are these 3 other spirits that are insisting that they speak with you. One's a tabaxi, actually.
Is there any chance that we might be able to speak to them?
No, we've not been corporeal for at least 3 tournaments. This is far too luxurious to give up.
It sounds like hundreds, if not thousands, of people have died because of these tournaments and possibly buried here. Is there not maybe another
these bodies weren't
body?
buried.
Okay. Is
Hmm.
there...
Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
Okay. The thing is, this place is not, what you would call classically cartographicable. You can't really make maps here. The landscape changes at the whim of the Emperor. If he wills it, it is so. It looks very different to when I was here last. You know, alive.
Do I know that like they are talking to a tabaxi?
Yeah, they
that?
said that one of them's a tabaxi.
Okay. So I want to say to them, is there anything I can do or give to you just for this one tournament, just to let the tabaxi like possess the body that you're in?
They sort of look at each other and they go, well, I mean, I suppose you could kill one of your friends. We could have that body.
That doesn't sound like a very good
I'm
idea.
I'm not going to do that. I mean,
Sorry then, but we only get 1 day every 1,000 years to do this, so...
Seems fair.
I mean, go away!
does it though?
Go away! And they're just looking at, again, into space. They're very insistent they speak with you. What's so important about you three? No!
Can you
I don't know,
tell?
what do they
Can
want to
you
speak to
tell
us
us
about?
what they're trying to say?
Well, one of them is... And he just sort of stares off for a moment and goes... One of them is talking about a place called Yansho. And... I don't understand what you mean by eyes everywhere. No, I don't understand.
Yanjo was
At
my
that
temple.
moment, Nine Lives gets really, really upset, and she looks at all of the spirits and says, please, if there is anything that I can do for you, please let that spirit speak to me.
They sort of stop bickering with these unseen forces, and they turn and they go, well, I mean, as we said, we only get 1 year, 1 day every 1,000 years to be corporeal. If you want to spend your time, if you're uneasy about killing your friends, perhaps you could kill someone else for us?
I mean, we killed a couple of Kenku back there.
Kenku? Oh, I wasn't aware they were still alive.
They're not anymore.
That's true. Oh, interesting. Wow, he broke his seal finally. Interesting. There is a darkness to this forest tonight. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, somebody ripped up all the paper lanterns.
Oh, that was, they had glowing eyes, pointy teeth and hair. Hair?
Point at their
Haunts?
glowing eyes.
Oh, not like this, they were red.
Okay.
Yeah, those guys.
I don't remember. Devil Spawn is what we call them. I don't know if they're the same names. We used to fight them very, very often. Why did we fight them? Don't remember. No! No, these are our bodies. We have told you several times. Now leave.
Can you be the, I guess, the go-between?
They sort of look at each other and go, oh, I suppose that would be fine. We could do that. That would actually be quite interesting. We haven't spoken with the living for how many? 10 or so tournaments?
I thought you said 3.
What do you mean 3?
They haven't had a body in 3 years.
They haven't had a body in 3 years.
3 tournaments.
3 tournaments, yeah.
Yeah. Which, if you do the math, is about 3,000 years. Yeah. Yes, I think we could do that. It's a little difficult to commune with the dead when they don't have a body. It's much easier to speak when you're grounded to something. So I don't know how useful this will be, but it sounds like that would be kind of fun, actually.
Okay. So
the-
no,
for the-
at this point, Nine stands up and she's like furious, and she will try to go and grab one of the spirits by the neck.
So this is, you're trying to attack them, or just
I'm trying to go up to a spirit and intimidate them,
okay?
and say, if you don't lend this body over to my master, I will snap it in half and you won't get to use it at all.
Okay, roll me an intimidate check. I'm gonna say at disadvantage
Right.
because you're
Oh,
literally
man.
alive.
Oh man, please pray that this goes well.
You have advantage charges if you'd like to mitigate it. You can spend 2 to take advantage if you'd like.
21.
How do you feel about using those charges? Is all I'll say.
And can I ask a question of one of the spirits while she's doing that?
So you're like, hey, just
While I'm about to like literally
Yeah.
snap one in half.
the spirit you grabbed. Which one was it you grabbed? You, when, or how?
You.
You? You's like, this is very aggressive. I don't understand why you're threatening to destroy this body, however, unless you burn it. And then How just goes, you idiot! Don't tell them this. And he's like, oh, right.
Look at the campfire. I look at them. I look at the campfire. I look
Yeah.
at them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, then I grab him and I hold him over the campfire.
Roll a grapple check. Strength,
A what
athletics. So it's a grapple check. So it's opposed strength and athletics. You do not have to roll very high to beat that. That's all I'll say.
I didn't know you was in this fight.
Terrible.
I rolled a 2.
Plus your athletics?
So my strength plus my athletics?
Yep.
That is a total of 4.
4? Still beats what he rolled, which was a natty
Oh,
1.
God.
Oh wow.
So yeah,
Thank
you just
God. Oh,
I feel
my
like-
God.
I feel like the heaviest part of this corpse you pick up is the armor. And so you pick him up.
I want to imagine that, like, I thought it was gonna be heavier than what it actually
Yeah.
is, and like I just like throw it up. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh fuck.
Yeah, and you's like, whoa, wait a minute, what the? And what do you do next?
I want to hold him over the campfire,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to say, I say, let him take over right now. I'm sure he will give you the body back as soon as he is done talking to me, but I have to speak to him.
Okay. While that exchange is happening, Ari, you're like sidling up to when or how? We're just watching
I'm
this
gonna go.
exchange. Sort of, they're not.
Yeah.
Do you think they'd be worried? But they're just sort of like, well, I guess he's getting picked up now. Like they're very unconcerned.
So
I like
So-
these guys a lot.
So Ari's kind of like fixated because, especially Yin Zhao was actually mentioned because that was her temple.
Yeah.
So she wants to know from when does it have to be a body to ground the spirit? Can it be something that belonged to the Yin Zhao, her master sword?
So he responds, we need a form, I guess, we need a form that's very similar to what we were in life. Otherwise, we would possess all manner of dead birds and squirrels and frolic, much like the woodland creatures do when there is not a descending darkness on the realm.
Sounds nice.
And he's just like, oh, this is drama happening over here, but I'm just gonna have a nice conversation with this very polite halfling. Like, he's
Just
just,
a little sidebar.
yeah, like, it's fine, whatever. Like, he'll sort it out himself.
She's kind of tunnel vision. As soon as she heard Yin Zhao, she's kind of like focused.
Yeah.
on that because she's still that whole PTSD thing she's got going on.
Yeah. Agent, if you want Arkwright to do something, now's the time. Otherwise, I'm going straight back to Ari. Not Ari. 9 Lives.
Honestly, no. I think he is just kind of like sitting and watching. He's a little horrified of these things.
Yeah.
But is very kind of keeping his hands out of this.
I think with everything that's happening, Wen just sort of looks over to you and goes, "Sake?" and just offers the gourd.
Again.
Yeah. So
I'm not old enough.
yeah, use like now this
I
is
like sit on a log just like next to that other guy and watch.
yeah. Use like now this is very very I guess existentially terrifying for me right now. Please don't drop me in the fire. I'm really reluctant to leave this body, I have to be honest with you, but you make a good argument. Please don't put me in the fire. I have done nothing to hurt you.
That's true, and I don't want to put you in the fire, but I need to talk to this person.
I mean, this is not how I was hoping this day would go, or evening. 5 minutes? And then
That's
I
all
get
I
the
need.
body back.
Yes.
And he looks over there and goes, "You'll help me get my body back, right?" And Hal's like, shrugs, and Wen's like, maybe. And he's just like, drinking from the gourd, and he's like, "Thanks, guys. Fine." And then you just see,
I
like,
will make sure you get your body back, yes.
there's like this, it's like a gaseous vapor just sort of erupts from this thing's eyes. It's like a mixture of light and like particles, and it just sort of like burns. It's like, you know how when you set like a matchbox on fire, it just has that "Bah!" and then disappears? That's what happens with his eyes as this spirit leaves the body. And then the corpse just sort of like shrivels and collapses even more. It actually feels, if it could even possibly be, so like even more light in your hands now that this thing is gone. And it just sits there for a moment, and then another like light sort of just invades through the eye sockets, and you feel it's, you know when you know someone's been like in a room, it's that old familiar feeling. And I think,
Like presence, yeah.
yeah, there's this moment where you're taken back to the Maneki Neko Master's Chambers, and you remember this very simplistic 8-sided room with the cot that your master would normally sleep on, with this large window that would oversee the fortress. And you can hear down below the many initiates training, running through like the different hoops and like stilts and things that they need to do to prove their martial prowess. And you see your master, like a clear as day vision. You see your master stand there looking out with his hands clasped behind his back in very simple garb. And there is a Go set, you know what the game Go is, to your left as you basically sit kneeling on a cushion opposite a table, waiting for instructions. And it's this moment just hits you in a flash, like, you know, that sense memory, like just have that overwhelming moment. You feel that, and then you see this body like straighten up, and you hear, "Place me down,
I
9
just move him-
lives."
Yeah, I just move him over and I set him down.
And he stands there and he starts taking this very officious sort of position. Like his hand comes up and he's got, it's the, you know, this as the symbol almost of his office is the way he holds his hand. He has his paw down with his, like, I guess what would the equivalent of his thumb held up over like his left breast, and then his other hand goes behind his body, and he stands there imperious as ever. And he goes, I did not expect you to make your way here. But now that you are here, Nine Lives, I demand that you seek vengeance for the deaths of the Makineko clan. Kill the Immortal Dragon Emperor. Avenge our dishonor.
That's absolutely what I plan to do. I'm so sorry that I wasn't there.
He sort of deflates a little bit and he goes, in truth, I sent you away to preserve our teachings, but I did not expect the Emperor's fury to be quite as all-encompassing. I was
If you knew
aware...
this was coming, why didn't you say anything?
You knew that I was grooming you for leadership. Surely you knew. A clan is not its fortress. It is not even really its people. It is its leaders. From them, honor flows forth. We may have been a clan of Tabaxi, and you may have sought out other Tabaxi to fill our ranks. You would have rebuilt us and made us greater. But it seems that my plans were seen through by the Emperor, and that is why you are here. To die by his hand or by the misfortunes on the path. You will seek revenge. He looks at your two compatriots and goes, are these worthy tools that you have brought with you?
I wouldn't say tools necessarily. They have helped me.
He walks over to Arkra and he goes, this one burns.
Like eating a ration.
Yeah. Yeah. This one burns with power. He will assist you well. And he looks over and he goes, the halfling I am less sure of. She seems damaged.
Well, they are here helping me nonetheless. And they have done a fine job so far. But I promise you, I will avenge our clan. I will take revenge on what has been taken from me.
Walk with me a moment. And then he just turns. He doesn't even wait for you to sort of like say yes, master, or whatever. Like, he just turns and...
Oh no, I follow him immediately.
Yeah. And so you wander a little from the camp and he goes, in truth, I could not speak of this in the presence of others. I would not have my dishonor known. Even in death, honor does not leave the body, not leave the soul. I must confess this, however, weighing me down. I gambled and I lost, and in doing so, well, perhaps it is better to tell you what happened. The Emperor made an offer to me when he visited our clan. In return for the secrets of immortality, he offered a chance to serve, was how he put the proposition. But he would only do so if I proved myself nimble of mind. We played our game. It was a temptation I wish I had not indulged in. I bested the Emperor. But I did not do so honorably. I cheated. the Emperor knew that I was cheating and waited for me to land the winning move. And when I did so, he picked me up and he threw me through the wall. And proceeded to kill us all. I demand you seek vengeance for this, but know that... And it's very hard for your master to say this, but he goes, I know that I dishonored myself with the promises of a glittering prize, and I was unable to resist. I pray that you will make wiser decisions in the future. This is the last wisdom I will be able to give. Once you have succeeded in your task, reclaim our fortress, clear out any brigands that may have taken residence, rebuild our strength, restore our honor. Do you understand?
Yes, master.
Speak not of this to all. And then he turns and he walks you back to the camp. And then he says to both Arcry and Ari, goes, you will serve my apprentice well. And then he just leaves the body.
Yeah,
Like, as he's doing that, I want to, like, kneel and, like, just pay my respects.
Yeah.
Dab.
You want to dab your respects?
I definitely did
To
that,
really
did I
do.
not? I want to dab.
This is
how ninjas show respect. We dab deeply.
Yeah.
So as Nine dabs, Ari looks over at Nine like she's lost her mind.
Yeah.
And all Ari says is, serve you. I don't think so.
There is a moment where the body, you see it like bounce and tremble, and its eyes are sparking rapidly. And then whatever that seems to be resolves itself, and the body like sits up and stands up, and immediately takes a more humbling looking form, sort of the decrepitude that your master had. Ari, his elderly, gentle man. What was the name of your master again? Just out of interest, do you remember?
Good question. Yeah,
I'm trying to
thank
remember.
God for notes.
It's in my Kansaku.
Notes are the best. That's
Yeah.
why I got a notebook.
Kansaku is before you, and again, I think you're taken. It's that presence, that moment, like you're taken back to this point in time where I think you were probably at your happiest, where you just would occasionally see Kansaku, being a very elderly man, would just occasionally take his tea out on the porch and watch the young folk play and the farmers farm and the birds in the trees, and he would just take in the sight and enjoy it. And I think you're taken back to those moments where you would see him, because it's basically like having your granddad come out to tell a story or something. Like, it was that kind of moment. And he stands before you and he goes, Ari, I did not think I would get this opportunity again.
Okay. Ari kneels and bows her head.
And he's like, you do not need to do this. This was never our way.
So Ari stands and says, Master, I'm happy to see you.
You are happy to see me, but I sense a darkness inside you. Fear that
Everyone
you're
is gone.
Child, we're never truly gone. Even if you could not converse with our spirits in such the manner that we're doing now, we would live on in your memories. No one is truly ever gone.
Some memories are tainted by the deaths. I saw when I came back, when I returned to the temple. I found the bodies. I buried them myself.
You have our thanks for that. I am sorry that you had to see such a sight. What is this darkness you hold in you? Is it truly revenge that you are seeking here?
When I received the letter, that's the first thought that came to my mind. I want to kill the people who killed my family.
I don't think he responds. He just walks over and gives a big hug. And it's very reminiscent of those many moments where, like, someone stubbed their toe, he'd be like, oh, it's fine. Sorry about that. Very, very, like, nurturing. And he goes, I am so sorry that is how you should know, though, I'm not certain why this happened. Why we were killed. I would like to recount to you the last days of Yan Shou. Listen.
I will listen, Master.
He looks up at Ari and the rest, and the two, like, other spirits that are basically just back to drinking and, like, talking amongst themselves, and he goes, perhaps here's not the best place to do so, however. Let's take a short walk. And he does that sort of, like, old man waddle that he doesn't need to do this. It's just like, I think it was sort of an acquired habit that he had because of years of requiring, like, a cane to get in places. And he walks through, he walks a little way away from the group, and he goes, when the Emperor came to us, he did not come to us in glory or even, I would say, in full health. He was injured. We brought him succor. We healed his wounds. He thanked us and gave us his protections once he revealed who he was. We honored him with a feast. And then this night, I heard a scream and I awoke and took up my blade, and he seems to be struggling to recall exactly what happened at this point. He's like, I remember opening the door and seeing the carnage before me. I remember seeing figures in the darkness. It was difficult to see. There was only torchlight to go by, but the Emperor, he was fighting. He was fighting us. But there was something strange. There was no reason for him to strike us down. We had shown him only kindness. Why did he do this to us? I remember the steel in my hands, and he stops and he thinks of me and goes, perhaps we were fighting together. But why would I ever harm my children? My wards, my charges, I don't... And then I remember turning my blade on the Emperor. He struck me down. I'm sure there is an explanation for this. I have no right to demand anything from you. My time on the material earth is far, far beyond past. Even as an old man, I knew that the end would be soon, but I would request this of you, Ari. Demand an answer. Why did he slay us? Why did he end us? And if it was just for mindless bloodshed, as much as I do not wish it, I believe you require closure. Seek revenge if you think it is fitting. Restore our honor. Will you do this for me?
Yes, Master.
Child, I'm no longer your master. And he sort of cups your face and he goes, in truth, I was never your master. I was but an old man who gave a home to the homeless. And he hugs you again, and I think you walk back to the camp at that point.
Sweet old man.
Yep. And he goes,
That caused feelings.
Yeah. I was about to start crying.
yeah. And he goes up to the group of you and goes, I'm glad that Ari has found. We'll help her on her journey. Please be true to one another. Because I will see you again when your time is finished. But I hope that's not for a while. And he does like a really awful rictus grin. Like an old man grin. You've seen this on... Look, it's horrifying, but somewhat assuring. And, the body sparks and sputters at the eyes, and it falls. And then it catches itself.
Bye, Mr. Ghost.
And stands up again, and... He looks around and he goes... Where is Akrai? Where is the boy?
Hello.
I'm just like sitting on a log with Win, I think.
Yeah.
No, Archive's been drinking some sake.
Yeah.
No, I think I've been playing like a little like martial arts game with him.
Yeah. Like slaps?
Sort of like slaps. Yeah. There's a couple similar
Yeah.
ones.
Just hear
Yeah.
bones cracking in
Yeah.
the background.
It's like, oh, my index finger. So, this body turns and looks at you and goes, You've grown up.
Yeah.
Do you
Do I
not
know you?
remember? I am your master, boy. You should show respect.
Niles? How did you get here? I thought it was too far for you to walk.
I am not Niles, child. I am your master, your true master.
And Arkrai just kind of looks at him.
Yeah.
Kind of with a bit of a tilted head.
Now, sorry, I may have fucked up there. So, just to be clear, Niles was the man who taught you after the fall of the...
Yep.
Yeah. And the master that you lost, who you sort of were there...
I
being
only
present.
I only knew for like a week and a half.
Yeah, exactly. Because I remember you, boy. You were an extremely promising candidate. I know that you were only with us a week. But, well, you say Niles took you in. That is the assumption, I assume.
Yeah, he found me after the dojo burned down.
Do you remember much of this?
Of the fire?
The fire, the slaughter, do you not recall? When the Emperor visited us,
Yeah.
there was a grand ceremony held in his honor.
Yeah, there was a big party.
Yes.
A kind of tournament.
Do you not remember?
I remember the flames. I remember him walking around in this mask. But there was a lot happening.
Yes, yes. Much more than I think you would have been aware of, but you are here now, so the Emperor's claws have found you. I want to warn you. Do not accept any offer the Emperor makes. You may not have known this because you were not inducted into our ways, but our school was a martial school of soldiers that we provided to the Emperor every 25 years. But when one of them returned to us, his mind broken, told us of the horrors that he faced, I could not in good conscience send boys like yourself, men, truly, to fight at his side any longer. I challenged him for the honor of our school. He struck me down, he struck all of us down, calling us traitors. But who betrayed who? You will be my weapon of vengeance. Take the lives he took from us and fashion them into a weapon of revenge. Take the pain, the suffering that all of us felt at his hand, and return it upon him doubly.
Okay, I'll certainly do my best.
He sort of just, the equivalent of like a ghost blink with the flaming eyes, just sort of like doesn't really know how to take the ghost. Are you simple? Do you not understand what I am asking? Has Niles prepared you? You seem trained, but
He told me to come. We don't even really know what this is all about.
at that he just sort of goes, didn't tell. You must understand, this tournament has a function far beyond, and then as he's saying that, you see those sputtering eyes again. And he's like, no, not yet. I must, and then he's gone. And then the body returns, and you stands before you and goes, well, that was unpleasant, and there were more people here than I anticipated. And he turns and looks at Nine Lives and goes, I'm thankful you didn't throw the fire, so I appreciate that. But I'm not sure that I want to share our campfire with you. How do you feel? How and when do you think? And they sort of look to each other and go, well, we don't have any problem with staying here, but the moon is rising. They should probably make their way forward to the castle before the gates close. You're welcome to stay, of course, but, you know, if you die, could you make sure that you die together so that we can... In the next tournament, we can take your bodies? Is that agreeable?
We definitely
Try.
appreciate... we definitely appreciate the sacrifice you made to let us be able to speak to our masters. But we will take our leave now.
Good. I think the path is that way. It might be that way. Do your best. That's all we can ever do, I suppose. And he does this sort of like goofy, like horrifying grin. And then he turns and goes, you drunk all the sake when? Like, what do you mean? And he throws it, and he takes this gourd, uncorks it, and starts drinking it. It's just blue fire. Just sort of drips into this skeletal
I'm
body.
really glad I didn't drink that now.
Yeah. He goes, well, it was nice to meet you all, but leave.
Is there anything that I can steal from this area?
You could attempt to
Going to
pickpocket
ask
the
that
bodies.
every time.
Yeah.
Blue fire sake bottles, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, I want to try to attempt to pickpocket one.
Okay. Roll a sleight of hand.
That is a 19.
19. That'll do it. Yeah, you find Wen has a rotting it's not quite rotted all the way through, but it's a rotting loop of coins that's hangs at his side. It's like the equivalent of a purse, if you don't know. It's got the coins of the holes in them that was prevalent in ancient China. And I think you're able to just using your one of your claws, just sort of snip the rotting thong off and just grab it on your way through. So you now have a small selection of ancient coins.
Okay, cool.
Great. So, yeah. What would you like to do? Try to find your way to the castle, find your way to the path, or stumble around in the dark?
I think find our way back to the path.
Path, yeah.
Okay.
If we know the way we at least came in.
Yep. Who would like to roll a survival check?
Let's see.
Oh, I could do that.
25.
25.
Should do that.
Don't
Yeah.
make me do it.
Ari, I think you're able to find your way back to the path. It's a little bit of a walk, so if you want to discuss amongst yourselves, have the time. Okay, guess you're not talking.
No, you're trying to That was spur of the moment. Okay,
So,
so
Yeah, I think walking back, I'm kind of like, well, that was a bit weird. But those ghosts were pretty nice.
So I just trying to address everyone. I say, so I'm assuming that all of our masters perished because of the immortal dragon emperor.
no, we don't know.
I mean, that master did. The other master's doing okay.
We don't. There's too many unknowns. We need to find out exactly what happened. We weren't there.
I was there when he burned down my dojo.
It wasn't fun.
He was yeah. It was
Doesn't sound very fun.
it was not a good time.
And
He
you know it was the
burned the
emperor.
place down. Well, it was they said it was the emperor coming in. That was the celebration, and I couldn't see his face. He wore this kabuki mask all the time.
So you're not sure if it was the emperor.
All I know is we all have way too personal a connection to this immortal dragon master emperor.
And that's why I say we need to tread cautiously.
Okay, and I think at this point you sort of find yourself back on the path, and again, like those lights are gone, but the path remains. So you know where to go. You could continue to walk.
Yeah.
You're getting very close now to the foot of the hill that this castle is based on, and the mist starts to dissipate a little bit. And then as you step forward, there is like a rumbling sound, and I would like you all to roll dex saving throws, even though I know as monks that's kind of a pointless venture.
1 million.
Yeah.
No, 23.
23?
Oh my god.
25.
16.
Okay. Anyone who are over 15 is fine. The earth opens before you and drops away. You see like probably 400 feet's worth of ground just suddenly collapse, trees falling in on themselves. Just total destruction as this earth shakes. And standing before you is just easily a 600-foot drop. And it's this massive swathe of destruction. And then you can actually see ahead of you a single like pillar of stone and strata. You can see like the earth sitting upon it. And it's this almost perfectly circular tube just running down the middle of this area. And the destruction extends on either side. And standing atop what looks like a what would you there is actually a term for it, but I can't think of what it's. I believe they're called Mikos. They're like holy like shrine, like, you know, shrine maidens, how they have like the staves with the loops and the bells on them. Well, that's what it looks like, let's put it that way. Stands a figure in a deep red cloak. He's about 200 feet away, so you can't get a great look at him, but he has two great big black wings that come out from either side. And as he looks up, the moonlight reveals that he has a long, elongated red nose, red face, a hood. He has feathers growing from his skin. He has bandages around his arms and feet, done up like compression bandages like you would see in a fighter. And he just stands there and thrusts this staff to the sky, and it duplicates, and from it just spread all these almost like it's almost like when they fire like a volley of arrows. All these spears land in the gap, 600 feet tall, perfectly level. They have about, I would say, a 3-inch diameter. One or two of them land quite close to you, and they're all roughly, there's like about 5 feet gap between each of them. It's basically a veritable it's very similar to the sort of things that you would have done in your training, where you had a lot of like thin poles that you would have had to stand on to improve agility. Nine Lives.
Mm-hmm.
And then he spins his staff, puts it down, and goes, "I am the guardian of this way. If you wish to pass me, you must defeat me in combat." And I think we're going to leave the episode there. Thank you very much for joining us for episode 2 of Castle of the Immortal Dragon Emperor. A lot of things happening, very story-based episode. A couple of feels, apparently. We've got a little bit of time, so I'd love to know what you guys think of the game so far. Agent and Kitten and 13. Did you enjoy yourselves?
Very
I mean,
much
yeah,
so.
I'm having a lot of fun with this, honestly.
Fantastic.
Well, I think as the game progresses, our characters do.
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
that's
So-
definitely like a major thing about D&D is you don't really get like a super huge feel of your character until you actually start playing them.
Playing it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
It's nice to get these little glimpses of people's backstories and stuff
Yeah.
too.
yeah, it's very cool. I just want to quickly shout out to Philly Fott, who just subbed. Thank you very much. I know there was an alert for it, but thanks, guys. I really
Yeah,
appreciate that.
Phil!
And to
Phil
all the
is my
peop-
sugar
Hype,
daddy.
hype.
Yeah.
Not
and
to be weird or anything,
Yeah.
but Phil is my sugar daddy.
Aw. And thank you for those of you who followed and stuff. I have been kind of watching the chat. So obviously, I'm running a game, so I can't speak directly to you guys. But look, I read all the logs, so trust me, I will see it. And I really, really like the fact that people have hung out. We've had a pretty good audience this time, and we had good votes. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how the next episodes run out. So we'll probably do another 2 sessions, and that'll be it for the game, I think, at this point. That's what I'm thinking is projected timeline for the rest of this.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, not to say like, oh, hopefully we get done with this. Like,
Yeah.
Like I'm having a lot of fun with it. Honestly, I wouldn't care. if
Yeah.
it
It's
went
cool.
longer.
You hate us. We get
But
it.
you say one shot and like
It is-
that's-
it's-
sorry.
it's an A to B game. It is, you're gonna go to the castle, and you'll be in the castle next to probably, if not halfway through, then by the end of the next session, and then there's one more session after that. I'm hoping, unless things get elongated. We'll see how it goes. You may have more boss fights than you anticipate. Depends on decisions you made, and obviously what the audience have made decision-wise with the questions. I would like to also apologize to those of you who were looking for an episode last week. Unfortunately, I had an intermittent network issue. I just could not stream. It was ridiculous. Like, I couldn't even answer email. So hopefully we'll do another game next week. It won't be this time next week. This was a bit of a one-off situation because of schedules. But we will probably be looking at a slightly different start time to first time. So just keep an eye out, I guess. And if you're not already following or check out the Discord. And if you don't feel like doing any of that, I'm sure these fine people will let you know when the next. So really, really
Yeah, I'll
appreciate,
definitely-
guys.
We'll definitely keep like a lot of updates on when we do D&D and stuff like that on my Discord.
Fantastic. And we don't think that this will be the last game we'll do, probably even with these particular people. I definitely have further one-shot games, probably with different systems. We'll see how we go. But yeah, I'm hoping this will be a continuous thing. We'll roll out a couple of one-shots in the year. So yeah, look, thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you've enjoyed it. You know what? Let's go around and introduce each other again and say what we do and where we can find us. So I'm Castellan4173. The number's not important. Hey, holy crap, thank you for a sub, Mr. Blood 38. Holy crap, okay. Not what There. I feel
love
like
all of you so much. You're amazing.
so yeah, thank you so much for that. And I don't forgot what I was saying. Yeah, so I'm a variety streamer. I stream a whole bunch of stuff. I plan to do more D&D stuff for sure. And I have a podcast coming out soon. Very soon, actually. We're in website, blah, 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 blah. You can find out all about that information later. I'll do a proper announcement for it. Let's move on to the next fantastic person who's joined us today. Let's go character-wise, clockwise. Kitten, please let everyone know who you are and what you do.
Hello everyone. I am Hey_Kitten. I stream on Twitch as well. I play a lot of more like FPS competitive games, like Rainbow Six Siege, other stuff like that, Apex Legends. But yeah, no, my real name is Tamara, but yeah, I just
Howard, real name.
Yeah.
We
Look
can
at me
summon her now at any time.
Yeah, exactly. The dark summoning rituals.
Yeah.
Or you could just check out her Twitch channel.
Yeah, that's the thing. But don't also because I'm not good, so it's fine. Check out 13th and Castellan and Ninja Number 1. They're all great. Oh.
I'll just do a quick shout out for you, kid. While we're at it, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself? I did say clockwise, but we'll do it ladies first. Ari, 13th is a Twirdo. Please tell us about yourself and what you do.
I am 13th as a Twirdo. I am a variety streamer. I do gaming, DBD, Overwatch, and some tabletop simulator. And
I don't
just
know.
watching the screen, guys.
I don't know why I did that. I'm going to change my hotkeys so I don't do that again. Please continue.
The transition. Yes, everybody go check out beautiful 13th is a Twirdo, please.
Yeah. Yeah, Matt. Please continue.
So that's me.
Yeah.
Lucky last, but no less least. No, not least. I don't know what I'm saying. Not unappreciated at all. Agent number 1, please tell us about yourself.
Yeah, he has great hair.
Does.
I
all we hear about.
Constantly complimented on my hair. I am part of a D&D group that is very shortly going to be releasing a thing. We just did our first audio test last night, and it went really well. And
Exciting.
So we're recording. I think our first episode is recording on March 15th in Toronto. And so we should have an episode out kind of by the end of March as well. So that's my exciting big news.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do a shout out to you as well. You also were streaming. I don't know if you're planning to take that back up, but
I
do
was
check
a
him out.
strategy streamer before as well, and I still kind of pop in and out a fair bit.
Fantastic. Well, look, I think that's going to be it for us for now. But thank you so much for joining us for this game. We will be running another game of this next week. TBD in terms of times, but I really hope you enjoyed yourselves, and I guess we'll see you all then.